Okay, good morning, everyone. This is Trystan, and we are going to be going over how to get paid. Let me go ahead and pull up command for you. All right, so how to get paid is going to start all the way from the moment you get your first document signed, all the way up until essentially you get paid. So, in the ideal world, just to make things really easy for compliance, I'm always going to recommend that you start in command. So the way that you would do it, and this is going to create your loop. It'll allow you to fill the loop with all the forms you work with, and that'll make it really easy to turn in all of your compliance docs. So the best way to do that is to open up command. You're going to want to come down to the handshake tab, opportunities. From here, we're going to create opportunity, and this is essentially the same thing as creating a loop. So when you create one, you kind of get the other. You should only have one market center. If you're on a team, that may populate here, but if not, it'll just show as blank. You will always be the owner of it, and then you can change if it's a listing or a buyer. And if you're doing something like tenant or commercial leases, that can be landlord or tenant. But for this instance, I'm going to do buyer. It's going to ask you to put in or search your client. So if you have uploaded your database into command, you may find that your contacts are already in here. I'm going to use my brother Timon for this instance. I'm going to kind of skip over some of these. I'm really only hitting what's required, but if you want to add more, you can. The opportunity name is always going to be the client dash the type of opportunity. This will also, by default, be the name of your loop. So if you want this to be something else, you can go ahead and put that in right here. Commission rate. Commission rate is the percentage that you are taking. So if this is a listing and you're listing it at 6% with a co-op commission, it's only the part that you're going to be taking. Whether that's 2.5, 3, 3.5, that's what you're going to put here. If you're able to change if you can remember to change the opportunity phase to active, that's going to make it very easy for Alexis and I to find those. If you forget, it's not a huge deal because there's one step on the back end that will do this for you. But if you can remember, it makes life a lot easier. We'll hit create. So this is your opportunity right here. You can see there's documents, offer commissions, any notes you want to leave. If you're going to be getting back to this place, let's say you're coming into command later after you sign some docs. Here we are. It kind of sits down in here in these little bubbles. I don't like that view very much, so I like to do the all opportunity view and give you a list. But it takes you right back in. So every opportunity needs two things. It's going to be the documents turned in and an offer and commission filled out and submitted. That's going to prove everything and then tell us how to pay you in the instance that you're splitting it, if there's any kind of referrals, deductions, anything like that. Documents is the first one. So I go to the documents tab. It's going to ask me to pick a checklist. So I did select buyer. So this could be a residential purchase, new construction purchase, or farm and land purchase. Now, because residential is the most common that I'm going to see, I'm going to go ahead and use that one for today. You'll see when you select residential purchase, all of the required documents load in here, most of which you have a template of what they're meant to look like. If I were going to go ahead and start a loop, and like I said, if you do it this way, it's going to make it a lot easier to turn stuff in. You come over here to start a transaction. Most everyone should only say .loop, or I also work in the other states, so I have DocuSign as well. So I'll click .loop. It's going to ask what profile and .loop you want to start this under. It's very important that you start it under the one you're actively using, and I would recommend using the one that's tied to KW. So if you have multiple, you want to maybe merge them into one, or you want to, rename them, just let me know and I can help with that. So I'm going to use Trystan Hayes. Say what kind it is. So this is a buyer. And you'll see the start transaction spins, and it'll say go to transaction. So that was me starting my loop. So if I click go to transaction, it'll actually take me to .loop and show me the loop that I created. I'll show you what that looks like. So this is my loop right here. So you can see it names it the same thing in command. It's got all the forms in similar order. So guide to agency, agency consent, fair housing, guide to agency temporary housing. If I were to go ahead and sign these, I could theoretically pull them into my loop and turn them in. So if I take a second to sign these, I'm not going to share. I come back over to command. If I pull this guide to agency doc in, this is how you do it. If you don't link it up to .loop, this is what you're going to see. It's going to ask you to download or re-upload one by one, but when it's connected to .loop, it's really easy. So if I pull in the guide to agency, take a look at it, they're my signatures. So it works pretty quick. If I were to turn this in for compliance, all I would do is check the all box, and it'll grab all the things that I have turned in or submitted here. You can tell they're in here because of open status, and then once you submit them, you'll get this submitted status. If they approve it, it'll say approved in big green letters, and if they reject it, it'll say rejected in similar format to this, and they'll leave a note right here telling you exactly why it's rejected. So, and 90% of the time, it's just a initial or signature on one page. It's pretty easy. So I would recommend turning these documents in as you go throughout the transaction. That way, if compliance does catch any loopholes, it's really easy to button that up pre-closing. It can be a little bit awkward if you have closed on the house, you're taking a moment to submit all of your documents, and then we find that 2 or 3 of them are not filled out all the way, and you have to go back to the client post-close and say, hey, we need to button up some of these docs. So turning them as they go is always my preference. One note is that if you have referrals, the W-9s required, you can just drop that in right here and make that pretty easy. And then a copy of the DA, which is your receipt, your direct deposit receipt, is going to go right here. So every transaction, you can find a breakdown of your commission right here. So now that we've got documents done, we're going to go over to the commission request tab, click add new offer. And this, you're going to probably find this is similar to MLS input in some ways. It's very easy as well. It's just some data entry. So we got to put in the property address, put in the brokerage, property type, residential. It's usually going to be resale. If you're doing farm or ranch like those other ones I was talking about, you've got those options. And unit will be 1. So the offer and commission tab can analyze multiple offer situations in a really clean way to present to your client. So if you have more info, like if they're pre-approved, pre-qualified, you can put that in there. Just for the sake of the class, I'm only going to be submitting 1. And then so the seller's info, I don't have that. I'm just going to put NA. Go with the sale price. We'll make it an even $200,000, and cash is 1% now. Put close date end of the month, contract date today. Okay. So I would create and accept because this is the only offer I'm using. I'm just closing this out to show you all. If you did want to go ahead and kind of look at a couple side by side before you selected one, you just click create. And this is it. It's going to give you a breakdown of your commission. I'm not licensed, so it's not pulling my info, but if I came down here and added Joseph, asked me to give. This is what your alls will look like when you submit it. It'll show the commission amount, the breakdown on the splits, what the agent net is. Let's say you've got a referral on it. So you can click add outside referral. We've made it pretty easy. If it's somebody that we regularly do business with, I have them saved in here. I know OpCity's sort of a popular one. And it fills all the info out for you. So just put the percentage, OpCity, submit, and you'll see it's going to readjust. It's going to add it in right here. We do have to tell the system who's paying that. I know it seems a little redundant, but if I open this Joseph's card back up, you'll see you get a red message, $1,500 left to distribute. So you'll see it's just readjusted our numbers. He's paying that. It's readjusted his net. And then let's say that Joseph's going to give Tara a 10% referral fee for one of the houses, or a 10% like showing fee for one of the houses. So what I would do is come down here to add another payment. Find her. Okay, 0 units, 10% of the commission. You'll see it saying over distribute that because I've got to go back and readjust Joseph. So I just added Tara. I'm going to bump him down to 90%. You'll see on the right hand side, does all the math. So we've got 2 agents on here. We've got commissions. If you want to add a deduction, you could do that. But this is kind of the place that if you need to, you can add other things. So let's say you've got a real commission due and they want, $2,000. They advance you $2,000. So he does all the math for you. Assuming this looks good, you can just hit submit. So when Alexis is processing the checks, there's 2 things she's looking for. She's looking to see that your commission request is submitted or approved, which means she's already looked at it and it looks good. And she's looking to see that all of these docs are turned in and approved. So if these are good, this is good, you can pretty much anticipate getting paid the next day, just depending on what time you turn in your check. But that's really all I've got. I am going to go ahead and just terminate these just so I don't, fill up a bunch of space in our projected closings. If you guys have any questions, feel free to give us a shout. I think we do this class twice a month, every month. So